Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as Quant Network, aka Q&T. We have quite a bit to discuss, and I'm just going to start off with this video here. It's about 3 minutes and 11 seconds long, but I want you guys to listen to every second of this, and then we will talk about a few things that are happening around this entire market and also around the entire monetary system. This is from Squawk Box, and we do see this is Barry Sternlicht, and we do see if Powell keeps hiking rates, you have the Weimar Republic. He has to keep printing dollars to pay interest on the deficit. That will really slow the economy. He risked the entire financial stability of the global economic system. Now, I am going to play this video. Listen closely to what he is saying here in this video.
Inflation has peaked. The biggest increase in last month and has remained is the renter equivalent number in the data, which was 0.8 positive. In reality, that was 0.34 negative. The lag in the housing data is completely distorting inflation. And since rents are falling, market rents are falling month to month, not year over year, month to month. They're going this way. You will see a negative number there, and it will look like energy. It'll come all the way down. So inflation will come down. And people who talk about keep raising rates, I hear these guys on your morning show, I want to strangle them. Volcker didn't have a $32 trillion deficit. So here's the actual interest number. The federal government spent the following amount of money the last 4 years on interest expense. In 2019, $375 billion, then $345, then $352, and last year, $475 billion. So here were the average interest rates those years. They were 0.5 in 2020, 0.1 in 2021. That's the average. These are LIBOR, SOFR rates. In 22, they were 1.9%. This year, they'll be 4.5%, 5%. 5% of 30 trillion.
We'll be up to $1 trillion.
$1 trillion plus dollars.
On interest.
And on interest. And that's so the budget that the White House put out has a $400 billion number that they didn't update it for today's interest rates. This is their November number out of the White House, which is where they put the 1.7 trillion, this fiscal spending. So what he faces, if he keeps going up, you have the Weimar Republic. He has to keep printing dollars to pay interest on the deficit. And you wind up printing and printing and putting tremendous pressure now on all ends of the curve, right? So that will really slow the economy if the 10-year goes to 5 because this thing gets out of control. And who's going to buy our paper? And we've pissed off the Chinese. They're not going to be buying our paper. And most countries are pulling back to their borders now with deglobalization. The banks will support themselves. So he risks this if he keeps going, these academics in Washington. He risks the entire financial stability of the system. You have the IMF and the World Bank telling you to stop raising rates. Because what we do in our little holes in Washington with our Federal Reserve banks impacts the entire globe's economy. And it's not like it's strong in Europe.
But
so
isn't this,
they can't afford higher rates.
But
They're
Barry,
worse off than we are.
Maybe this is what we need.
But it's coming your way.
Okay, so if rates go back down, then we'll say, hey, everything's fine.
So if he pulls this off, which he has a good shot of doing, actually, of having a soft landing, if he stops, he can have a mild recession is fine. I mean, it'll be fine. You don't destroy all these manufacturing jobs. We bring back, we onshore, we fix supply chains. He'll be good. I'd be bullish. If we keep this up, and obviously the political gridlock, and don't focus on things that matter in Washington, I would be.
If rates are higher, maybe we'll stop. That's what I'm saying. If we go right back to where you want to go, then we'll be like, okay, it's not $1 trillion in interest. We're back down to $300 billion in interest expense. But if we really are spending $1 trillion every year,
rates, but 2.5% low rate.
How do we finally? How can we spend on other things if our debt service is so high? And if it goes to 35 trillion,
we need a plan to reduce the long-term deficit. But here's.
And what he is talking about in terms of interest is this tweet here. So from Wall Street Silver, we do see the U.S. paid $853 billion in interest for $31 trillion worth of debt in 2022. More than defense budget in 2023. If the Fed keeps rates at these levels or higher, we will be at $1.2 trillion to $1.5 trillion in interest paid on the debt. The U.S. government collects about $4.9 trillion in taxes per year. we will be spending a quarter of taxpayer money on debt. This is a big issue. The U.S. is in trouble. And I shared with you guys up until now, actually this week, I was telling everyone to make sure to pay attention to the FOMC meeting next Wednesday. In fact, I actually just tweeted out over on Twitter, I said, next Wednesday is going to be the big confirmation of if this rally is going to continue or the rug gets pulled. And I'm watching this closely because right now, as we focus on things are getting rough. The U.S., like I said, is in trouble. Now, one tweet that stood out under this video, because I do follow utility theory, and I think that utility theory is actually pretty straight on with a lot of things that he does talk about. We take a look at what's happening around the system. So this tweet says, they got the correspondent banking system by the reins, so they hate decentralized digital assets. They have devalued our dollar to a point of toilet paper. The dollar's purchasing power is getting stolen thanks to the infinite printer with debt-based money. And yes, this is happening. The Fed is one of the biggest problems right now around our entire economy. What allows them to print all this money as well is taxpayer money, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. And I think that at this current moment in time, as we focus on crypto, right, they don't want to adopt crypto. I think that this bill that I talked about in last night's video with XRP, I think that this was a clear sign that the U.S. does not even want to touch crypto. Because guess what? They'll say that it's a financial risk, that it will cause an economic downfall if we adopt crypto and digital assets. In all actuality, it will benefit the system fully. They're scared that it's going to make things transparent on their end because, again, remember what we've talked about in terms of like digitizing currencies. Everything is transparent. Other central banks will be able to see what the U.S. central bank is doing. And when they see that, they'll see that money is being spent on complete nonsense. But with this also in mind, right, as the U.S. gets bearish on crypto, every single major nation outside of the U.S. is getting extremely bullish. The World Economic Forum Davos 2023 event, over 95% of the customers that Ripple signed up in the last 2 years are non-U.S. Not only this, but recently we just seen the BIS Innovation Hub has invited applicants to participate in the CBDC API project with the Bank of England. Guess who are the two biggest players around the Digital Pound Foundation, which, yes, is a think tank organization, but in my opinion, they will be vital for the next evolution of the digitized economy around the UK. It's Quant with Ripple, with Electronium, with Avalanche. Like, these are the main players. And talking about, again, the BIS with Q&T, this tweet here from Greg Lunt 27 over on Twitter is a great sort of idea on why I believe as well Q&T will play a vital role with this. So we do see breaking. The Bank for International Settlements, BIS, in coordination with the Bank of England, is moving to phase 2 of their UK CBDC API project. If you're not convinced Q&T is involved here, you're simply not paying attention. And here you guys have the UK CBDC API project invites participants for the next phase. Then over here as well, we have the tech sprint. So I'm going to open this up in a new tab. So Project Rosalind, phase 2, tech sprint, supplementary information, API platform. The objective is to explore how this API could best enable a central bank ledger to interact with payment interface providers, PIPs. And then down here, what's the scope of the project? Well, the project aims to explore interoperability between different systems and different forms of money. Very interesting. Now, they do bring up the new ISO messaging platform. Does that matter to crypto? Not necessarily. It does allow for, again, innovation like this to happen with digital assets and crypto itself. But it doesn't provide an incredible value proposition for any of these tokens. It's a messaging format. But what I'm more so interested on here is like any systems, right? Any systems and any different forms of money will have full-on interoperability. Let's go over here real quick. So here's networks. You guys can go and look at this under how we do it. Networks. Our vision is one of an empowered, interconnected world. And that means building interoperable ecosystems of businesses and individuals who can share information seamlessly. In short, networks. A network of networks. Any blockchain, anywhere. By leveraging Overledger, the world's first blockchain-agnostic API gateway, we offer access to any blockchain or distributed ledger. Our connection to all the private and public blockchains you might need. Here you guys have Overledger, and here you guys have private networks. We run private blockchains that allow only selected entry of verifiable participants, typically for private businesses or specific use cases. Joining a private network requires an authentic and verified invitation. Public networks. We enable access to public blockchains in which anyone is free to join and participate in the core activities of the blockchain network. Anyone can read, write, and audit the ongoing activities on the public blockchain network, which helps a public blockchain maintain its self-governed nature. Interesting. Now, with this, we go over to the payments. This is where Quant and XRP kind of play a vital role in helping each other. Cross-border payments. So under this is where XRP kind of comes into play. This is also allowing interoperability between any two payments in an atomic settlement form. So whether in a digital currency or fiat currency, whether in digital currencies or fiat currency are more flexible and secure when handled over blockchain. With Quant solutions, you could send and receive digital payments, set up payments, and even collection processes such as crowdfunding, then automatically push the funds to an exchange to be converted into fiat currency. Then down here, we do see revolutionizing the payments landscape, DLT, such as blockchain. This is where you could talk about XRP and the XRP ledger itself, has enormous potential to change the payments landscape. One example is its ability to deliver international payment processing services without the need for intermediaries such as correspondent banks and clearing houses. The result is faster, more secure payments at lower costs. The challenge. So in terms of the challenges, yeah, there's a lot of major ones here. But in my opinion, as we do focus on the major challenge, the major challenge is getting around these governments that want to support the correspondent banking system that's currently in place because they have full control over it. That's the main challenge. Now, in terms of the solution, we already have the solution here. We know that there's already solutions within this, and there's incredible opportunities here. And you guys can check out like who here as well. Like you can see the partners and all those that are already with Quant currently, but also over here, you can go to the products tab, and this really kind of breaks down a few things on how everything will work. You'll have the blockchain networks down here. This could actually be any network as well. Like, for an example, RippleNet could be tied to Overledger, having a direct access point to any network that is tied to Overledger, which again is an API gateway. You could be live in 3 minutes. Or 3 lines of code, and it could be done in minutes, and it could be an instant plug and play for any of these major corporations, any businesses, governments, whatever the case may be, and they'll have direct access to any network, any blockchain network as well, and there's so many possible solutions here. Like you have third-party solutions. Like this is where Ripple could play a vital role in becoming a third-party solution for all of these. Like this could become the next evolution of our entire monetary system. And I've said it like time and time again that I do think that Overledger, with what Quant has solved, is something incredible. And again, what they have here is one of the most incredible opportunities, in my opinion, around this technology, because all of it is the easiest way to access this technology. For example, even like Overledger Tokenize, create secure digital tokens without writing a single line of code. Like it's the easiest way of accessing the power and the potential behind DLT. Not only that, but we even do see over here, like blockchain bridges have fewer participants and operators than major blockchain networks, and therefore offer more vulnerabilities for attack. They're already designing secure bridges for asset transfer. They're already supporting the next evolution of DLT technology. They want to become the network of networks. They want to be able to connect to any DLT types, including like Hyperledger Fabric and even Corda, which we know with R3 Corda that are becoming a major player around a lot of these financial use cases. But all of these will need, at the end of the day, a medium of exchange and a settlement token. That's where I do think that XRP plays a vital role in this. Of course, I'll gladly be wrong, but I do believe that XRP and the XRP ledger will play a vital role. I think that Ripple themselves as a network, as a payment network, could very well become the next major giant around payments and the fintech area. I've seen a lot of people say that they could become the next Swift. It's possible, but again, I really do like the idea of like a decentralized medium of exchange. That's why I do think that XRP has such an incredible use case advantage to it, because we already see the problem with the US, right? Going back to that initial video, you know, we seen Barry say, like, these nations are tired of the US dollar. They're tired of, you know, being tied to the US economy. So how do you not, like, how do you escape that correlation, right? Well, it's very simple. You have a decentralized medium of exchange, and you have them launch their own currency on a DLT. So this will be a private ledger technology that's backing their currency, and you could still utilize XRP as that medium of exchange to have atomic settlement between any two currencies. The entire global economy could run on digital rails and be settled through a medium of exchange like XRP. And this is happening, in my opinion. I do think that this is the next evolution. And it's not whether the US wants to accept it or not. In my opinion, the US will fall so far behind to the point where they will have no choice. So with that being said, of course, I would love to hear from you guys and hear what you guys have to say. Me personally, I love hearing what you guys, you know, what your opinion is on these things happening around the entire global economy, where you guys see DLT technology and all that kind of stuff going. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.